Dr. James Gray, the third president of Moody Bible Institute, once noted, taking it in bulk, more than one half of the Bible is predictive. So no further reason is necessary as to why Christians should study prophecy. We reserve a few minutes to discuss current trends that you'd expect from reading Bible prophecy. We are futurists. That means we interpret all unfulfilled prophecy in the Bible as future events in a literal, physical, apocalyptic, and global context. Biometrics, artificial intelligence, cashless commerce, the manipulation of human DNA, global government, the explosion of human knowledge, one world religion, and the rebirth of national Israel are end times developments that the Bible predicts. All of these are increasingly trending in the news. The revelation of Jesus Christ was written down by the Apostle John while he was exiled on the island of Patmos. He described a future global government that would exercise far-reaching authoritarian tactics. For example, the government will be able to identify you by some sort of technology called a mark in or on your hand or forehead. The future is an intrusive surveillance state. That's what the Bible predicts. Facial recognition, retinal scans, palm scans, and implanted chips are the tip of the technology iceberg that exist and are currently in use. Any of them could be used by government to restrict buying and selling, restrict travel, or pretty much anything else. Authoritarian government goes hand in hand with surveillance. I read an article titled Al Gore. Remember Al Gore? Who remembers Al Gore? He's still a player. So I mean, we might not take him seriously, but people do. Al Gore's, that's it, we're done with YouTube, I guess. They're really gonna kill me now. You know, we got kicked off YouTube for a week because of something I said, and I didn't even say it. Anyway, here we go. Al Gore's latest solution to climate change is mass surveillance. Here's some excerpts. In an interview with MSNBC's Andrea Mitchell, Gore declared that technology created by the so-called Climate Trace Coalition will monitor greenhouse gas emissions and root out culprits. We get data consistently from 300 satellites, more than 11,000 ground-based, air-based, sea-based sensors, multiple internet data streams, and useful artificial intelligence, Gore explained, adding, we can now accurately determine where greenhouse gas emissions are coming from. Gore, who in 2008 said there would be no polar ice caps left within 5 years, continued, and next year we'll have it down to the level of every single power plant, refinery, every ship, every plane, every waste dump, and we'll have the identities of the people who are responsible for each of those greenhouse gas emission streams. If investors or governments or civil society activists want to hold them responsible, they will have the information upon which to base their action and hold them responsible, Gore proclaimed. Civil society activists sound like terrorists, domestic terrorists, but on the other side, I guess. Governments are flexing their authoritarian muscles by ordering more sweeping pandemic mandates. Austria's chancellor stepped up threats of lockdown measures for unvaccinated people. New rules took effect barring unvaccinated people who haven't recovered from an infection from restaurants, hotels, hairdressing salons, and large public events. Chancellor Alexander Schallenberg said that a lockdown for the unvaccinated is probably unavoidable and that the unvaccinated face an uncomfortable winter and Christmas. I don't see why 2/3 should lose their freedom because 1/3 is dithering, Schallenberg said. CNBC reported Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla saying, people who spread misinformation on COVID-19 vaccines are criminals. They're criminals because they have literally lost millions of lives. He then offered this cryptic comment, the only thing that stands between the new way of life and the current way of life is, frankly, hesitancy to vaccination. I don't know what that means, but it sounds authoritarian to me. Read the Bible and you expect a trend towards surveillance and authoritarian government. You just do. That's what the Great Tribulation is going to be all about. Control over the lives of its citizens. You can't buy or sell. You can't go anywhere. We're seeing this in China and different places. We're getting a little taste of it with vaccine passports and such. So that's the world of the future that we can see how it could happen today. And all I'm saying is that that's what the Bible predicted thousands of years ago. We believe the resurrection and the rapture of the church are imminent, could occur at any moment. The Lord will come to resurrect the dead in Christ, and then he will raise those of us who are alive and remain, will be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, caught up together with them into heaven. Are you ready for the rapture? If not, get ready, stay ready, keep looking up, because ready or not, Jesus is coming.